It's perfect. Let's go. Welcome, everybody, to a special episode of the Popcorn Watchlist podcast where we celebrate and discuss our favorites in TV and film. I am your host, Xavier, and I'm joined by the regular Gold Boys. You've got Danny.
What's up?
Anthony.
Hello.
And the resident kid who likes the Game Boy Advance version of Donkey Kong Country, Zach.
It's what I had growing up, guys.
You had a bad childhood.
Remember, I'm 25. You
had a bad childhood.
You guys are older than me, and you grew up with the SNES and 64s. I grew up on GameCube and Game Boy. All right,
it's okay. I'll join you, Zach. I had the Donkey Kong on the Game Boy Advance.
My back hurts.
Good, I'm not the only one.
And
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I feel like Tobey Maguire.
My back. So if you
we
had
actually play it together. I remember you having
Who was Diddy?
Who was Diddy? Yeah, he had to switch off. Anyway, switching back to the topic. We didn't even get to the topic, guys. We're here for a special Mario episode. It's a Mario movie starring Chris Pratt and a whole bunch of A-listers who we didn't think were actually going to sound great. But as you continue to listen, you'll find out they were pretty awesome. So, very surprised. Granted, Illumination's been around for quite a few years now, kind of cutting their teeth in a lot of the different, a lot of the Despicable Me movies, Secret Life of Pets, and it was very interesting that they got the green light to start the Mario movie. And at first, we were, a lot of us, we're just kind of really cautious at first, but with a lot of really cool stuff happening in the background. Like there's a lot of direct partnership with the creator of Mario, which is a man named Shigeru Miyamoto. He's kind of like a bigwig at Nintendo nowadays. This guy was really involved in the whole process of the movie being made. And
he created Mario.
Yeah, he created all these characters. Just like that. And getting coin comes down to that because this movie...
You said it wrong.
It's pretty awesome. Get coin?
No. You have to sing just like that.
And like the Hercules?
No, like the Mario song from the TV show back in the day.
Oh my god.
Just like that.
Oh my goodness. Just like that. This is okay. Yeah, this is a 90s memory lane. Core memory unlocked. That show was bad. But it was also kind of goofy. Anyway, let's get right to it, guys. We got a Mario movie in 2023 that's actually really good. Let's get that out of the way. Very surprised right from the get-go. You had that style of humor that's kind of referential, wordplay, and fun little wit and witticisms. But the animation extremely clean. We kind of knew that from the trailers, but as the movie had started, we get the whole Bowser invading the Ice Kingdom with the penguins, and again on a big screen, it looks really great. The humor still lands; it hits. Jack Black as Bowser is awesome, and from there it rolls right into what we see like Mario and Luigi. So, there's just so many cool things that kind of coalesce into a surprisingly coherent and easy to watch movie. And easy to listen to as well, because we'll get into that in terms of like the score, the voice acting, a lot of good stuff. But I'll throw it over to Danny. Your initial impressions.
I loved it. It was, I think, kind of everything we all wanted to see in a Mario movie. Even though it was a pretty basic story, isn't Mario always a pretty, straightforward story?
Yes, it is.
Who plays Mario for the story?
Who plays Mario for the story? That princess was in another castle, so I had to keep going to find out when the last castle was. Obviously, that's my story.
But
why am I stomping on Koopas? What's my motivation? Why am I shooting fire?
Animation was top notch, and just had a blast in the movie theater. I mean, the theater that we went to, there was not like one kid. It was full of adults.
Yeah, we went to a later showing. I think that
on Wednesday.
9 o'clock.
Yeah,
show.
so
Yeah.
9 p.m.
it was a
showing,
school
so
night.
all them kids would be in bed.
So-
On a school night.
When we showed up to the theater, the kids were
leaving. Yeah.
because it was like right at 9 o'clock.
But it was cool because I guess everyone that was in the movie appreciated Mario or played Mario growing up. So even like the littlest thing that would happen, everyone was clapping and like pretty excited.
Laughing,
so.
cheering, everything. It was,
Like, we'll get into it later, but a lot of really nice Easter eggs. A lot of people.
Yeah.
There were a lot of look at that. Oh man, look at that.
Like you could hear people talking like, "Oh, did you see
I'm
that?
pretty
Oh,
sure-
in the background."
I'm pretty sure a quarter of the movie is
all
me
the
going to
whispers.
Anthony and just like, dude, look at the Punch Out thing. Oh, look at. You saw the R wing on his TV. Like, there's like so many little Nintendo, like deep cut Nintendo stuff going on. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw like the track and field game as like a poster in the room.
Yes, you did.
Like if you played any Mario game, like there's something you've picked up on, which is pretty cool. Like you don't have to play all of them, but
Like the King Bomb, like that was the Big Boo.
King Boo.
Yeah, it's King Boo, right?
Yeah.
It's King Boo.
in the wedding.
Yeah, the all the dry bones and like how dry bones are made, like that was pretty. I mean, like it was cool, like seeing the and also like the Shy Guys, like it's perfect. Is how creepy the Shy Guys were. But I think like the whole like the way the movie's set up of just like, hey, they're in our world, Brooklyn plumbers. They're commercial, which makes sense when they have like the like really over the top voice and like just to do it for the commercial. That was really nice to establish that like, oh, the voice is like it's sort of the act for that reason, and then that's why you have Chris Pratt's more like Italian American voice that there's actually effort behind it, which is Anthony and I spoke about this, that we really wish there was more just normal Mario dialogue like in the trailers, because then people would have shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it was good.
That was
It
the
really
one
good.
complaint that everybody had in all the trailers. That this movie looks great, but I don't like Chris Pratt's voice. He just sounds like Chris Pratt. It's just like I don't know who they hired or which house made those trailers, but the 2 or 2.5 trailers that they did, each trailer had very specific lines where it did kind of sound like Chris Pratt, but it wasn't how Mario sounds throughout the movie. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I think Princess Peach had more dialogue in the trailers.
Yeah, and Bowser.
And Bowser.
Yeah, and Bowser too.
And even Toad. I heard it. Especially when they're getting into the main like town square, the Mushroom Kingdom. He's like, hurry! His brother is imminently about to die. It's like, wait, what? No, I'm just doing that again. Wait, like, and that is it took a lot to really hear Keegan-Michael Key's voice in Toad, which I think is a good thing. Like it sounds a lot like what we imagine or we've heard Toad in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think my going back to what I hear and think of Toad in my brain is like Mario Kart 64
And all the noises he made.
Yeah, wah, 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 wah. That's a terrible impression, but wahoo! And he goes wahoo! He used the boost. Anyway, yeah, like we got a lot in this movie. I at first I was like, man, we're gonna do a Mario Kart thing already. Like I don't know if that's taking too much, but I think it added to a cool set piece in the movie. Like there's we get from like an initial, we got the training montage sequence, which was cool because at first you subvert it and thinking like, oh, there's mechanical piranha plants. I remember people getting up in arms about that too. It's like, why are they replacing the piranha plants? Like it's the training course. Chill out. We did get piranha plants later on in the movie. Pretty cool. It was I just like everything put together. Like it was just really cool to see, and a big shout out I think has to go to Brian Tyler for taking a lot of the original Koji Kondo themes as well as stuff from other games, like little bits of pieces from Donkey Kong Country and Mario Kart, and just putting them together and making these really engaging and exciting arrangements into a really good movie score. Like I think it's one of those movie scores where I can listen to and just know where it's what each of the source materials from, and it sort of celebrates it. It doesn't try to hide it. It kind of understands the themes, and it kind of it comes together to making this really nice kind of grandiose score. And the whole point that was really cool. Which then I think like if we're talking about like main impressions in the movie, like I think it's really cool to see. Like, at first I was like, oh, I don't know if it's kind of that we're getting like Donkey Kong stuff, but like it was just enough. Like they didn't give us too much, but it was done well. Surprisingly, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. I settled into it after a while. He did do the Seth Rogen laugh.
The laugh.
He did hit him like when he's like smacking him around like Smash Brothers style. He hits you with the so.
I don't know how he does it.
It was there. I was like, he did the thing, it's funny seeing that like I guess like the Kongs are all about the Mario Kart. So, and then it should be Konga Kart. I don't know, but
Diddy Kong Racing
Diddy Kong Racing
makes sense now. Sort of.
Sort of. Sort of. Luigi, like Charlie Day's Luigi was really cool. I liked. It sounded good. Like it wasn't just like a caricature Charlie Day. Like there's effort behind it. So yeah, like I think everybody like initially we were all really like a little weary about having a lot of big A-list celebrities do the voices, but they put in work. Like they realized they came to play and they knew that this was a mighty big shoes to fill. And they'll never listen to this. Maybe they will, but collectively, thank you for putting in the work there because it made for a really good movie.
And then really big shoes to fill. We got Jack Black and Bowser, which like stole the movie.
Yeah, the MVP.
Really, the MVP. Like, I remember the trailer and everything's like, damn, Bowser's gonna be menacing, and then they found a way to make him still just like kind of goofy because in the end Bowser's motivations have always been kind of weird. They're not weird, but just kind of like simple and goofy. He's just like, I just want to marry her. She's great, but I'm gonna like destroy her entire kingdom first because that's the way to show it. I'm strong. Like it was funny in this weird like I don't think he gets it, but he gets it, but no, he doesn't exactly get it kind of thing.
It's like a basic explanation for a villain put into like a
like a teenager.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like a kid.
And
he sang his heart out.
He sang his heart out. Let's hope that Peaches becomes an Oscar-nominated song.
It will be.
That would be amazing if he shows up to the Oscars.
In a Bowser suit.
In a Bowser suit, with that beard that he's rocking right now. Playing that song, it would be hilarious.
Just to get nominated so he could play it.
Exactly. But for that reason, that's probably why they wouldn't nominate it. Because they just feel like it would probably, what do you call it, D-class the Oscars somehow.
No, that would
I don't think so. I don't think so, but...
Yeah, no.
What's the word for that? I just came up with D-class. I'm sure there's a word for that.
To D-class. To cheapen the Oscars. Sully the Oscars. Nah, not at all. I think it would make sense. We gotta, like, in terms of side characters, again, we talked about Keegan-Michael Key's Toad doing really awesome stuff, but I thought it was really funny seeing like Kamek as being like Bowser's like secondhand guy, and that was like very famous and well-known voice actor Kevin Michael Richardson. Like for a good while, I was like, man, he's really like. Afterwards, looking at the credits, like really like that. He's good. Like he had to do a lot of like contortion and stuff in his voice to make it sound very much like this. It was
Wait,
fun.
what?
He's like an actual one of the few like
what did I think
actual voice actors that are in the movie.
Yeah, Carrie Payton was the guy who plays Cyborg in Teen Titans. He was the Penguin. King. Yeah.
Okay, because when I saw that Kevin Michael Richardson was in the movie, I thought he was playing that one Toad.
No, that's a different guy. Yeah, not the general.
Because I thought that would because that voice sounded more like what he would sound like, but I didn't know that he played. What's the character's name again?
Kamek.
Yes.
The wizard.
Kamek the wizard.
That's so what?
Yeah, that's
mind blowing.
Voice acting.
That's so what?
Because he has such a deep voice.
Yeah.
And for him to that's crazy.
He
did a great job.
Yeah, he did a great job. And speaking of, what I thought was really cool that they did was they gave the OG Charles Martinet some really cool cameos to voice. Like So this opening pizza shop that after we see the Mario Brothers commercial, there's an old guy playing a OG Jumpman, which is Mario's original name in Japan, and then that guy does the old voice of just like of doing like, hey, that's the kind of voice I'm going for, and that guy is Charles Martinet. Also, we see a bit of family life into the Mario Brothers. I thought that was kind of cool. I'm thinking like if we ever got like extended Mario family.
I think this is the first time.
We got like, uncles. His
Did
brother.
they mention any names?
Yeah, his
I don't
father.
remember.
I think there was like a uncle. Like I don't remember the uncles' names exactly, but I think they did.
Uncle Mario.
Yeah, right, Uncle Mario. And then, but then Charles Martinet also plays Mario's dad. So that was pretty cool.
He did his voice too.
He voiced his dad too. I was like, damn, that's dope. It's like almost like really great, like coming in full circle and. Because Charles Martinet has done other voice stuff in the past. Like, he was the secondary villain in that Dragon Ball superhero movie that recently came out. He was the mob guy. So, it's cool to see, like, him branching out. But, like, the production knew that's like, yeah, we got to put him in here because, he's part of the reason why Mario is such an indelible character now.
I like that he did the Italian accent for the commercial.
Yes,
I mean, that was, I think, probably the best thing to.
I still think that commercial's like low key extremely clever.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like everything from like when they have the wind up car to go, well, even go to Queens, and then like it like veers off and like no, put it back, like and that's part of the commercial.
Them using the capes, but they're on stools to make it seem like they're flying.
Yeah, using the capes from Super Mario World. Like, there's so many little, like, callbacks and reminders of, like, oh, we're going to put in little small game references. Well, overt references, but also smaller references throughout the games.
And the woman in her kitchen just, like, reading the line, she's like, am I saying it right?
Yeah, she's just like, the only thing that's not draining is my bank account. Huh? Yeah.
And they even mentioned that, like, oh, you don't think the over-exaggerated voices... for this commercial,
like it was too much.
It is too much, and then that's when the guy playing Jumpman, he's like, "No, it's not too much."
Yeah, he's great. Like, and it's like, oh, that's him. Yeah. And so like, I like the whole idea how they had to go through all the whole construction to get to the main site.
Like it was like you were. That
was
the
just
game.
like World 1-1.
Yeah, it was laid out just like the first level.
Even obviously the ending, but even the other parts where you jump, you had to bump into something, you had to kind of drag Luigi over to him and open up the cages. Flagpole. Yeah, and he's doing, and even again, like throughout all the action sequences, Mario's doing a lot of the animations from the games. Like he did like the top tier butt stomp from Super Mario 64. He did also the jumping dive. He did some wall hops. He does the running with the arms out, the anime run. As I like to call it, but like you do that in 64 and you have like the big run. Also in Super Mario World, like when you have the cape and you have to fly up. Like again, like Illumination did their homework, and I think because with the great partnership with Miyamoto and Nintendo, they probably had access to a lot of probably assets and art design, and so they were able to kind of take these callbacks and put them in together. And then also that they put that stuff into the story, like. They did the Rainbow Road shortcut, like they just jumped over. Like we're glossing over some of the action sequences, but like everything from like the first big action sequence was like you have like the everything from Mario Brothers being plumbers, and they had a plumbing job that we after going through the whole World 1-1 thing, they get in a fight with the dog. Dude, that dog had hate in his heart because that toy broke. Or that bone broke.
When the water first started to spew out of the bathroom and it filled up the shower, just the face of the dog of like, I'm coming after you.
Like he knows that he's just gonna float up.
A testament to the animation of that dog's like, oh, it's gonna happen. And then like they finally drain it down. I was like, wait, where'd he go? He's just on top, like, ah. But like again, it's a really fun character building of just like, hey, they're just down on their luck, but they're really good at their job. Like they're good. They're legitimately good plumbers. We get Spike also. Like that's
the Wrecking Crew.
The boss of the Wrecking Crew from the OG like arcade game. And then just from there, like it's so many other like small character cameos and like I think even the mayor, I think the Brooklyn mayor was Pauline, which is she's the damsel in distress in the old Donkey Kong game. Like he has to go and save her. Like that's Pauline. Now, like in Mario Odyssey, she's the mayor of New Donk City.
Oh, so Pauline wasn't okay. I always thought she was an original character for Odyssey.
Nope.
Because I've never played that old Donkey Kong. I've never played any Donkey Kong game except for Kong.
Another action sequence after the
right back.
after the hurts. After the training montage with Peach, which was cool to see Peach kind of like, you know, like you have the whole like lock eyes from across the room thing of just like, you know, like princess, and he just gets like mollywopped by Peach. It was cool to see that, like, you know, she legitimately cares for the Toads, but that she like says like, hey, you're another human, maybe you can do some of the stuff I do, and you get a bare bones explanation of power ups, which made sense. I thought that was cool, and it's just like it was funny, like. You get hit, you lose it. It's like, what constitutes a hit? If I just fall on my butt, do I lose it?
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Don't fall on your butt.
I think
it has to be from a
from
far
a certain
enough height.
height.
Yeah.
I think I
Just
feel like it's like if it's an unintentional hit, like if it wasn't expected, like
then
maybe it
lose
counts
See,
as a hit.
It's a mind power up connection. You get hit and you lose the mind power. Oh, I'm thinking too much into it. The kids didn't think too much of it. That's why they all loved it. But from there we go to like they go travel. From after the whole training montage with Mario and Peach, Toad tags along, which is great because Toad's hilarious. They pass through like the desert level from Super Mario Land on the Game Boy Advance. Some other like and they have a cool like whole sequence with like the fire flower and that whole like starry night. Then they get to where the Kong.
I think that desert level is from Odyssey.
Also Odyssey, yeah.
Because they had that like upside down pyramid in the background, so I think it's the one from Odyssey.
They just keep pulling through. Cappy's not in there, but they pulled from everywhere. You also have
That's true.
you know, we almost got Delfino from not almost, but that'd be cool if they had like Delfino Plaza from.
There was a sign somewhere in Brooklyn that said like it was like a kind of like a tours, like a agency, and it said like Islands Agency. It kind of had like the Isle Delfino logo on it.
That's cool.
But it was like very tucked in the corner. You have to like really look out for it.
You gotta look for Super Mario Sunshine references. But getting to what I thought visually was really awesome was the Kong Kingdom. You had what's this guy? You had like the butler show up, and he's just like way too cool for school. Like that's the coolest valet of all time. It's just like, yeah, guy's wearing a sports coat. That bit was fun, and again, like visually it was really cool. And so like it starts off. There's a lot of like the musical cues that we get, we've had throughout everything, but then it kind of ties into like one of the only really major gripe I have with the movie, at least is with the North American audiences, is just too much licensed music. Like I know Anthony has, and I have this similar thoughts, but I'll let Anthony explain further, like what we mean about too much licensed music.
So early on when we first meet them, when you were talking about how they kind of go through 1-1.
And then they go down
level. Whole scene, they're like gathering up their supplies, going to this house to do their job. They're driving, or the car didn't start, so they had to walk to this house to get to their job. And so they're walking through Brooklyn, and then they start playing Beastie Boys.
No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Out of all the songs that they used, to me, I guess this one made the most sense. They were still on, I guess, Earth or the real world. And so, okay, you're playing a real world song in the real world. That's fine. And it had to do with them being in Brooklyn. But throughout the movie, there's a ton of other licensed songs, as if we're watching like Guardians of the Galaxy, where during this scene where they first go to the jungle area, the Donkey Kong Island area, for no reason, they just start playing Take On Me while they're showing this beautiful landscape and kind of like almost roller coaster ride while they're on this car. And then it was very odd, where I would have rathered like 30 seconds or a minute, however long that scene was, of just Donkey Kong music.
Or that.
Yeah, the score. Donkey Kong music in the Donkey Kong area.
There's a whole score, like if you listen to the whole soundtrack, the soundtrack that's out, like there's a whole section about that they use for other markets. And it's like, why cut in Take On Me? Why did we do that?
So we found out that there was score for those type of sections, but for some reason, the North American version of this movie got a bunch of music infused in it. A lot of random 80s music and 80s rock. I mean, I like all those songs separately, normally.
I just didn't need them in this movie.
Right, to me, and I think to probably all of us here, it didn't seem to fit those moments in the movie.
Hey, we're
Thunderstruck
building. Yes.
while they're building their Mario Karts or motorcycles.
They had the Mario, but they started off with the actual Mario Kart music.
Yeah, which
I
was
was like,
great.
that's
It's like
awesome.
cool. They have
And it sounds cool.
the Mario Kart menu of you like choosing the parts of your cart, and they had it. And then right afterwards, they start building the cars, and then Thunderstruck comes out of nowhere. It's like,
You've been and you're like,
it's like I like Thunderstruck.
I've been
But it's just
Thunderstruck
like,
now.
why? And of course, we've now witnessed this a few times this year. But during the
Just in
train,
the last couple months.
Just a couple
one
months.
couple months, and even a few years
Was
ago.
it the training montage where they played I Need a Hero?
So
Of
the
course.
training montage when Mario meets Peach, and then Mario says, "Hey, I need help," and then Peach is like, "All right, well, if we're gonna go to the Donkey Kong jungle area, you're gonna have to like, I guess
You have to get used to how
you have to
doing
like
it-
be good at doing this stuff." And so she has a whole training area, which is pretty much like a Mario level, but without him getting
Super
seriously hurt.
Mario Maker. or
Yeah, it's like it's
Yeah,
as
it
if
was, it was a Mario
yeah,
Maker
she
level.
has her own
Yeah.
Mario Maker level.
It's
So
great.
the whole time where she's telling him about all the power ups and this is how you can do it, she shows him how to do it, and then it's his turn. It's a whole like Rocky style montage sequence of him learning how to do it.
Well,
Instead of there being a cool couple minute score playing, Mario music playing, it's
I Need a Hero by Bonnie Tyler.
holding out for a hero,
Yeah.
which has been used like at least 5 times within the past
needs
couple
to
of
stop.
months, and it's kind
It
of
needs to stop.
it's getting kind of annoying where everything is using this song. Again, I like the song. The song is great. It just seems like this song is being overused in a lot of properties. I think Danny just recently watched the Tetris movie,
They
Yeah.
use
and,
it
it's,
twice.
and they used it
They use it
twice
in
twice.
two different languages.
One in Japanese and one in Russian.
Yeah, and then we watched Shazam. It was in
That was a
the
month
one of the
ago.
beginning scenes in Shazam.
And then the final fight scene too. No.
I don't think
Submarine?
No, I
so.
don't think so.
No, it was in the whole bridge sequence.
Yeah,
yeah.
which is the beginning of the movie.
And there's probably another one that I'm forgetting, but yeah, it's at least 5 times this year that song has surfaced, and even last year wasn't it in Bullet Train? I think there was a couple movies last year that had it. I mean, at least for me, the most memorable one has been in Shrek 2 because it was actually
Oh my
awesome
God.
in that movie, and that movie in general was awesome.
Good. Oh man.
But yeah, I'd say within the past couple of years, there's been a lot of
Too good.
uses of that song. But anyways, yeah. Back to the subject is we just felt that there are a little bit too many moments in this movie that had licensed normal songs instead of just having Mario music, Nintendo music playing, which is like one of the main reasons why, at least for me, I score this movie so high just for the music alone.
And the crazy thing is they like those moments for me get washed away when they bring back the original stuff. It's like, oh wait, like they did that, okay, now we transition to something else, and the transitional
Yeah.
music is usually some Nintendo theme that's done and arranged really well.
Exactly.
Like the whole Donkey Kong fight sequence, like the little things that just make it really better. It's like when Mario finally gets the upper hand and knocks out Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Right before he knocks out, you hear the game over music from the Donkey Kong game, like the do 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 do. It's perfect. I was like, dude, that's clever, like perfect, like. So like keep more of that. Like keep those nods coming.
Yeah,
instead
all
of
those music cues were great in this movie. It's just so strange that they would put so many licensed songs.
Yeah.
But overall, it's still fun.
I wanted to add because I had a sneaky suspicion. So another Nintendo related property had used that song, and it was Detective Pikachu. They had because I was
That's
just
right.
thinking
Yeah, I
about it.
remember. Right.
When we were talking, I'm like, okay, I know. I
Good
feel
job,
like Pokemon
Zach.
had it, and I looked it up, and yeah, Pokemon Detective
Nintendo
Pikachu has it,
adjacent.
yeah.
as well as so Bullet Train was correct, and then like Loki,
Bullet Train?
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy video game trailer, like a few things recently, but it's a
remember-
little excessive.
I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe. There was the episode of Loki came out.
Yeah.
When that season came out, it was the second episode, I believe. And then I think within the same week or maybe a couple of weeks, they had a trailer for the Netflix He-Man animated show, and the trailer had that music in it. So it was like within like a week, this song appears in 2 different things.
Overuse.
Like, come on, guys, you guys gotta come up with a different song to use.
Hero by Nickelback.
No, only Spider-Man can use that. Only Spider-Man can use that. But you know, like I think again with the
I mean,
the
look,
highs and the lows in the music, I think the
Bonnie Tyler is banking on that song.
Yeah, her royalties
for
are winning right now.
Just in the last 5 years alone.
Like
I would rather hear Total Eclipse of the Heart.
There you go. Turn around every now and then. We talk about the action sequences in the movie now. I liked a lot the way they would change the camera perspective to let it be kind of 2D. Whenever they did that was extremely clever.
That was cool.
Yeah, they did that at the end with DK and Mario. They did obviously in the opening
that scene
sequence.
Was so cool, man.
Yeah, that scene was extremely cool.
You can like dissect that scene, and so many things happen in that scene that are just like Easter eggs and cool things that happen at the same time.
Like I like how they throw the shell, and at the same time the shell comes back around and smacks them, because it happened to everybody when they played the game. You forgot the shell off camera, and it comes back, it hits you, you lose your power.
What's so cool is that Donkey Kong jumps in the background and is fighting in the background and jumps back in the foreground just like he does in the newer games in Tropical Freeze and in what was the previous one called? I forgot.
Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in those games he would go back and forth between foreground and background, and he did that in the movie. It's like it was like a split little 2-second thing. It's just like, man, these people,
it looks cool, but if you appreciate the detail, that they knew what they were doing.
Clearly are fans, or they did a lot of homework to just add little things
there was
like that.
the movie had platforming action. Like that's awesome. Like imagine do that, and they were able to do it really well. And you know, animation as a medium, Del Toro said it himself. It's like animation doesn't have to necessarily be something for kids. It's the way to tell a story, and shifting these perspectives, showing this fun animation that's from games, and being able to bring it in a sort of in this storytelling mode worked perfectly.
Yeah, like Mario was
the Mario Kart sequence as well. I was like, man, I don't know how that's gonna turn out, but like everything from when his cart blew up to then he was sort of on the road and hopping from one thing to the other, throwing a shell back, like that was like it was done really well. It was easy to follow. It wasn't confusing. And you know, and this is all happening again on Rainbow Road, where it's dazzled. It's supposed to be all up in your face, but the action, again, we talk about action and being able to frame this stuff together. It's easy to follow, but it's still dynamic. It was really, really well done. Speaking of dynamic, like with different things like colors, the Luigi chase sequence I thought was really cool too. That was one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
It's creepy.
Yeah,
for a kids movie, it's pretty creepy.
So many, and I immediately got the Luigi's Mansion vibes going on because the flashlight kept going out, and he does the Mario like Charlie Day must have played Luigi's Mansion
with the flashlight and everything.
It was, and then we're going into like an old castle where you saw like the old flag post, and you could hear a bit of the castle theme. I think at first I was like, oh, are they going to use the Boo Castle theme, or like the haunted house theme from Super Mario World? But no, they used a little bit of the castle themes from those games. Everything from like the dry bones being extremely creepy, and then just him getting jumped by Shy Guys was perfect. Because Shy Guys always freaked me out. I was playing Mario 2. I was like, dude, what is that? They just have faces and they're called Shy Guys? They're not shy at all. Like, they're going to like beat you up.
They only appeered when the lightning struck and then it flashed and you saw them behind them. It's like, so weird.
Got you. Yeah. All the henchmen, like the flying Koopas. You had you had
the Koopa Paratroopas.
And whatever those guys are.
Bob says, like, whatever those guys are. I'm like, oh, I don't have a name. I was like, they do have names. Like
Spiny?
I think they're Spinies. Lakitu is who throws them.
Yeah, I'm surprised Lakitu was in the movie.
I'm surprised he wasn't in at least the Mario Kart.
Yeah, I thought he would pick somebody up who would fall off the road.
See, that would have been pretty clever.
That would have been really funny. Yeah, like whatever those guys are, I was like, yeah, they're Spinies. And then I forgot what world they were in, and like Toad was just like super mean to the caterpillars for no reason. Like those are the caterpillars, I think, from Super Mario World.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, they were still in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, when they were still, they were walking around.
When we first found Mario,
he's like the mushrooms. He's like, it's like why? Like making noise like that. Like that was just like he's just being a complete like like he's so cavalier, like like oh Captain Toad's running around. I was like he's also messing up wildlife, like
That's the noise he makes when you pick him.
But I think a great point, like it's a great way to like call out so many of the Easter eggs that came through, like even just from the opening sequence, like when they were watching their commercial, they're watching it in a
there was a duck hunt reference.
There absolutely was. There was a poster.
It was like a restaurant.
There was a French restaurant.
That had the Duck Hunt duck.
Yeah.
The pizza shop that they were in was themed after Punch Out, like 100%. You had like Glass Joe.
It's called Punch Out Pizza.
Yeah, yep. Punch Out Pizzeria. You had like I think Soda Popinski there too. I'm just kind of they didn't have Mr. Dream there winking, but I think was Doc or Little Mac in there too.
I think so. I think it was like the picture that they would show like when Little Mac's like on the sideline and Doc is talking to him.
Yeah, that was really cool to seeing all that.
They had the baby Mario and baby Luigi.
Oh, dude!
The flashback was so cool. That was cute. Really good.
I remember like a good chunk of the audience being like, "Oh,
they're like yeah!" Like they found a way to do that. It's like, "Oh, together nothing will ever happen." I was like, "Yeah, that's a great like kind of a great cementing of their bond of brotherhood." And then a great way to also animate baby Mario and baby Luigi.
And they had a baby Peach.
Yeah, Baby Peach was in there too when she kind of came through the tunnel.
Was that like the first time they've kind of like had a origin story for her? Because they've never explained who Peach is.
And it's a small allusion to open it up maybe for something future.
Because they're kind of alluding to maybe she's also from Brooklyn or from
Earth,
the real world, and she just found the pipe. She found the pipe and then has been stuck there. Her parents must be...
The Toads adopted her, and
terrifying.
She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna protect you guys as the princess. That's cool." And then when they got through after, I think finding their way down like because they went through the whole world 1-1 thing to get to the house. The house job was a botch, and then they saw Brooklyn was getting flooded, and then that's when Mayor Pauline's like, "Oh, the streets are really flooded." So Mario, they go down the sewer to figure out where where it is to try to fix the issue, and it goes through the whole world 1-2 music, and you see like level 1-2 in the background, like as it's just labeled. Like that little label there, like little small things like that, and they just kept going and going. Like the Toad Shop,
and the music started playing,
and even and it's like a little piano chime on it. Going into the way they made the tunnels work was really cool too.
There was even on the report where they showed Pauline. I think there was some mention of like, there's like crabs all over the sewers, like alluding to the original
Mario game where you had to jump over. Yeah. It's an old arcade game that like you can play as Mario and Luigi, and you just basically had to stomp on these crabs.
It's too old for them.
No man, it's a level in Smash Bros. They have to know, like they have to know. And then going into the Mushroom Kingdom, you had the shop had like the little like
it was a
shop.
retro. There was a retro shop too.
Yeah. Also,
but I guess the Toad shop you're talking about is a different one.
Yeah, that's when they're in the Mushroom Kingdom. It had a like fun little reference. I think it had a hammer and stuff in there.
There's apparently a ton of references in that.
It was like
in the little shop alone.
There's a hammer. There's an axe. There are like posters of like different type of maps of different games.
Can we talk about how Mario was playing Kid Icarus?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was also cool.
On an NES,
playing Kid Icarus. On top of his TV is a Nintendo R-Wing from Star Fox and the Star Fox 64. He had posters from all these different games. A lot of the different games,
like sports games.
Like track and field.
There was an F-Zero one. They had an F-Zero.
Damn, I missed that one.
F-Zero one. Wow.
Nintendo acknowledges that F-Zero exists.
Exactly. Captain Falcon confirmed.
Half-Life
3 confirmed.
Dude, I think an F-Zero like GX movie would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
it'll be a short movie though.
Yeah, and then Captain Falcon needs to get out and hit someone with a knee.
He'll get out and be like, "Man, this game's too hard," and that'll be the end. That game is
is not easy. Even the Super NES one. But we digress. There's a lot of small little Easter eggs. Again, we talked about the Italian guy in the pizza shop playing the Jumpman arcade game. Donkey Kong throwing barrels like it was in the original Donkey Kong game.
I've played that one before.
I know Crank. No. Well, we had Funky Kong in the montage when the Kong army's riding out. You had Diddy Kong cheering like DK. He's still doing the DK rap.
It's like Diddy Dixie and the other one
and Baby Kong.
Right?
So the cool thing is, while he's still there, like cheering him on and singing along like the DK rap, and like it's weird that we got Seth Rogen doing the DK rap chorus in a movie, but here we are. It's 2023. That still blew my mind that he's just out there, DK Donkey Kong. That if you ever get a chance, listen to that whole rap. It's something. It's definitely something.
They incorporated Smash Brothers moves. That was the best.
DK hit him with the
The
side
side
smash.
smash, the clapper.
Nice.
Yep,
He got him with the aerial kick. Even in the
That fight
hit him with the
sequence was
back
pretty
air?
good.
no, it was like it was like a forward kick.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Like
yeah.
a drop kick almost.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
a good drop.
He's hitting him with stuff.
And in that scene where they're both going through the course at the end,
Yeah.
when he comes from the background to the foreground, he does a forward air.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
And like smacks a Goomba while Mario's doing moves from his games, like the slide, the dive,
Yeah.
and then he does like
The butt stomp.
the triple jump.
And then the run
One,
to
two,
run at
three,
the
and
end.
running through. He gets the Tanuki suit. And he's like the raccoon suit. It's the Tanuki suit, but whatever. I think it's now like for America. It's the raccoon suit.
Well, no,
He also got the cat suit,
Yeah,
which
got the
is
cat suit
from
during
New
the
Super
Donkey Kong
Mario
fight.
Brothers
3D World.
World.
Yeah.
That suit is broken. Like he got like that's like star levels of like
Yeah.
broke. It's like not broken, but it's just really strong to get you through certain levels. Like you just kind of need your cat suit to
Well,
let you climb.
I was
with it.
actually playing it. Was it last night? Because I told you guys before we recorded that about the Wii U. It came with that game, and I played
Oh,
a little
nice.
bit.
Nerd. No, I'm kidding. Nice.
And the cat suit is. I mean, it can be useful for climbing up high parts, but I mean, it's a little like gimmick like the Tanuki or anything else.
Yeah, or like they got him with the tiny mushroom. Like it's funny because everybody watching the movie when Mario
The
gets the
mushroom
tiny,
comes out, everyone's
like,
gets
"Oh,
the mushroom."
no.
Yeah, the whole audience knows that was cool. The whole audience was like, "No,
Not the
Mario,
blue
not the
one."
blue, not the tiny blue one." And then it was just like, and then he got it. It's like it's just super tiny. He's like, "Yep, he got him." We got the ice power up that Peach had. DK got the flame one, which is
That was
pretty
cool.
dope. Like I've never seen DK.
Yeah,
with
he looked cool with the white tips, like the white frosted
Yeah.
tips.
That's just the white skinned Donkey Kong from Smash Brothers. No, it's like everything, and even like him flying through, bringing in the giant bullet bill through and just blowing it up. That fun chase was cool.
Well, that's also when he stops the bullet bill from hitting the castle, and it does like it tips the flag on the castle. That's exactly from Melee, from the Princess Peach's castle.
that's right.
when it
Level
comes in
from
and
Melee,
goes
yeah.
in,
Every minute or two, the bullet bill comes and
tries
it
to
does a
smash
huge
into it.
explosion in the level. So.
They
too
did
many
their
Easter
homework.
eggs, man.
Oh, and then we get to the floating dungeon in Bowser's castle,
Oh,
which
and,
is freaking hilarious. And we got a Luma from Mario Galaxy that is really nihilistic and just,
I love it.
It's so dark. It's great.
So dark yet so happy.
It's just, hey,
More food for the grinder.
the only release will be the sweet release of death. That was a weird.
More meat. That's it, more meat for the grinder.
More meat for the grinder. Like it was such a funny tonal shift that I think it worked.
It helped, yeah.
It worked to the point where it's so ludicrous. Like where'd this come from? Who hurt you? Like there's so many questions. Like this is a lot of like they incorporated Peach's floating dress in the whole course as well. Bowser doing the final fight in Brooklyn I thought was really cool too because then they used the superstar and the whole audience knew is like once they got the superstar it was
invincible.
completely over. Yeah, completely invincible. It was like well earned because it was like, oh, what's the whole point of playing the superstar? It's this, and it also showed that the Mario Brothers really were super in the end.
Well, I always found real quick because I was just thinking about it now that in the games you have the Star Man that gives you the power, but then you have like the power stars that you collect as like for whatever
For your doors,
for the
energy.
story,
Yeah.
like for the story, right?
Yeah.
So was this like one and the same in this case? Or
I don't know. They just
I
called
mean,
it.
that's
They
what it
called it the
was.
superstar.
They call it the superstar, so that's all it is. If we know that there needs to be collecting stars, because Bowser technically did go to another world to collect the superstar,
Yeah.
so that's where Zack comes into that. Yeah, we're getting
Yeah.
real nerdy with this one.
But then they use it as a Starman power up.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's a star. So.
But then now it's gone.
They
So
also
there's
made
no
it
power
sound
star.
like it was rare. So I don't know
How many?
how many
are there?
more they're gonna have in
'cause
possible future movies.
Yeah, when you play the games now, you can get like 100 plus, 200 plus of those power stars. Or if in Odyssey's case, you get like 1,000 moons. But
Moon shards.
Moon shards, my boy, moon shards.
Then towards the end there, after they beat.
There's so many others I think we missed. Like,
You
or
got
I might
the-
be missing. Anthony, I think caught more than I did, but there's so many little like callbacks. Even like within like the Kong stuff, like you have I think like Funky's hut somewhere. You have
Well, the hut where after Mario beats DK, first of all, the DK course, like where they fought, had a bunch of like the red scaffolding that kind of looked like the Donkey Kong game.
Yep.
But after he beat DK, then Cranky's like, all right, come over here. And then when they do like their whole plan, that whole hut is the hut in like the beginning of Donkey Kong Country with the same like rocking chair outside. And then when they go inside, when he's like, oh, I have a shortcut. The shortcut is the Rainbow Road, but he's looking at a map and it looks like the Mario World map. And inside there's the hammock and Donkey Kong's like on the hammock eating bananas. So it's like all that is like just from like the one images that you'll see from the games, like they just took that from the games. It was really cool.
Yeah, and as they're traveling too, you did have like the jumping fish, and you had the squid.
The squids,
The
yes.
squids going through in the water.
Oh,
like,
the eel. The eel's another thing.
yeah.
Those are always creepy when
The
you
giant
go.
eel.
The
When
giant
you're in
eel,
any
yeah.
of the underwater levels. Giant eels that come out of nowhere.
Just yeah. I was waiting for so there's a random, maybe it's good because hopefully get another movie. If they go to any other lava place, they might get that one monster from Super Mario World. It's literally called the Blarg. It just calls Blarg, and it just comes out just like you see a little dot and it goes. Blarg. But apparently Yoshi can eat it
Oh, because Yoshi's awesome.
because Yoshi's ridiculous.
So they might
that's
put
over.
it if they do another one. Since
Yeah, they'll put in a lot. Yeah, there's a whole lot more they can use. Like they had a couple of the other enemies. Like there were actual real piranha plants. Obviously a whole bunch of Goombas. Like even Bowser like called out a lot of the like people in his army and the different creatures. So hopefully we get more. I want to get those football guys.
In the
from
one
Mario World.
scene where I guess after he gets the star, when they're rocking out, it's like a concert like in his palace or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That scene kind of swoops through his palace and it's like a mosh
Rocking
pit
out.
in there. In that scene, you see the most variety of like his
Characters.
Goonies of the different Koopas, Paratroopas, Goombas. Like there's a whole assortment. The Hammer Bros are in there.
Yep.
You got random bombs walking around. There's way more.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, there was a bomb that was like freaking out and it got lit up and then went through and blew up.
I
Yeah,
didn't
that
know
was
at
fun.
first because I've never played this portion of the game, but the 3D World version of the game on the Switch added that Bowser's Fury thing on it.
Yes, it does.
So the music that was playing in that section was Bowser's Fury music. So that's why, like, when he's talking, then for like a split second, they show Bowser like headbanging to the music. God, Bowser's ridiculous.
Bowser is like the perfect level of ridiculous.
He was doing like.
And it worked. And again, really well animated. We also got
And knowing is Jack Black, like just made
yeah,
it.
Back is so good.
Jack Black's too good.
And the other scene where he's playing the piano for the second time.
The first
Kamek,
credit scene?
Well, Kamek comes and interrupts him.
Oh no, that one. Sorry.
And then he's like, "Come and play with me," and they start playing the underground level music again.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
it was
Yeah,
really
that was
cool.
good.
Yeah, yeah. They kind of do that fun little
and he does a ding ding.
And the piano is it says Ludwig von
Ludwig von Koopa,
which
which is
hopefully that's
might be one of his sons.
yeah. Hopefully they'll show them in the future.
Oh,
Some of
that's the
Koopa kids.
one with like the mohawk kind of
Yeah.
hair, right?
No, he has like the big blue hair.
big
He
blue-
looks like
yeah.
like Beethoven hair.
Yeah.
Is what games has he been in? I feel like he's
Mario
been in,
World?
Was it Mario World? Not Galaxy 2 or Odyssey or anything like that?
No, it's Super Mario World.
World was I think the
He's
first game
Smash
they were
Brothers.
in. Yeah, and in Smash
Oh,
Brothers,
yeah,
when you
he's a
pick,
character.
pick different
Bowser,
Bowser
Jr.,
Juniors.
you can pick the different skins, and it's all the different Koopa Kid skins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's one you might be thinking of Lemmy,
There's like
Oh,
Lemmy,
maybe.
Larry. There's a bunch.
Yeah,
Iggy,
I'm gonna be confused.
Larry. What was it?
Ludwig.
Morton. and Roy.
Wait, isn't Ludwig a Mario Kart character too? Isn't he in Mario Kart?
He might be Mario Kart.
He might
At this
be,
point,
yeah.
Mario Kart has so many characters. I don't even.
Yeah,
I don't
him.
know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like it's just silly, and so and we saw a lot of the little the little pods that like Bowser Jr. normally is in, or like Bowser's in at the end of Super Mario World. They had that too.
Yeah, a
Dude,
couple enemies were flying on the clown balloon.
We could have had a whole
balloon.
like episode on just the Easter eggs.
Music.
Like
the music in that section was
the music in that
cool.
section was really good.
That's what I was thinking.
Like it's just like everything about the movie, like all the good details about that really made like for someone like me growing up, like it was perfect for all ages on that. Like, and hopefully in the future with possible sequel ideas, we got that final credit sting of the Yoshi egg in Brooklyn.
Everyone was clapping when that came. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was cool, but then at the same time, it's like
We also
but we saw Yoshi.
we saw
earlier.
Yoshis in the
We didn't
movie
see Yoshi.
earlier.
Yeah,
Yoshi,
Yo-
but
all
we
the
even saw
Yoshis
a
and
Yoshi egg
Different characters.
earlier at the wedding because I think that was the same egg that somebody had gifted them at the wedding.
Oh,
Makes sense.
Good call.
I was wondering how it got there, and then
I mean, half of the a lot of
Everything
that
came
stuff
out of the
came out of the pipe.
Yeah, and hopefully, like we might get, if we need more like enemies or antagonists for the Mario Brothers, maybe in some way, shape, or form, we somehow get Wario and Waluigi.
I can see that happening.
See? We'll see. Like, hopefully, there's spin-off movies, dude. I personally, like, I grew up playing Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2. So if they bring in a whole like Donkey Kong Country like spin-off and you're able to get the enemies of that and have those call-outs and make like some type of fun or indelible story for like Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong,
that would be pretty cool.
that would be pretty awesome.
K. Rool.
King K. Rool, all I need is in a movie to just have like them jump on these guys in creepy mines and a minecart chase and like this.
That's the Kremlins.
Those are the
Kremlings,
Kremlings,
right?
Kremlings. And I want the movie to end and there be fake credits, just like in Donkey Kong Country. Like when you pretend beat the boss, there's like fake credits show up and you're like,
Oh wait,
what?
it's not over yet.
And it's like, nope, he gets back up and like fights. So we need more of that, and then also giant bees. Like that'd be cool. Like like
the giant like
yeah,
bees
the
or
giant wasps.
or-
Yeah, they're like bees. Yeah, probably more so wasps. But again, there's so many ideas I think they can go with this, and thankfully the movie has made already a truckload of money worldwide. It's like 343 million.
So far worldwide, it's made 377.
I sit corrected.
And that's
wow,
the 5 day.
The whole Easter weekend.
Nice.
that's 5 days.
So from Tuesday or from when?
From
Wednesday.
Wednesday to Sunday.
Wednesday to Sunday.
Well, yeah, because Tuesday was a midnight, so technically Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah,
And domestically, it made 204 million.
damn.
For the 5 day.
For the 5
For the
days,
5 days.
And it
domestic.
made like 160 something for the weekend.
Just the weekend. Yeah, just like the weekend, not Wednesday,
It's Friday,
Thursday.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. It's great. The movie
So
is
far,
gonna,
it's the highest grossing movie of.
the movie's gonna have legs,
Sorry,
or in this case, a cape,
Highest opening of.
A video game
a
movie.
flying cape. No, it's the highest opening of any animated movie ever.
It's not.
No,
No.
are we adjusting?
It is for the 5 day.
Okay,
But
for
for the
3
weekend,
days.
Incredibles 2 is still the number one.
Damn good.
Wow.
Incredibles 2 got like 180 something million for the
183.
3 day.
183. Damn Giacchino.
And if you
The
count
Giacchino factor.
if you count the Lion King remake as an animated movie, then that is the number 2. But if you don't count it, then Mario's number 2.
So, speaking of
Beat Frozen.
yeah,
Beat Frozen 2.
it beat Frozen 2, which is big. Because Bowser was frozen in that one scene
And
in his
for
wedding.
sure, it's gonna keep making all the monies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. Universal. Yeah, sorry. Like Universal Pictures / I guess parent company Comcast. They are really happy for this because here in the States they're now establishing the Super Mario lands in the theme parks,
True.
which are now just gonna super blow up because of all these movies that
For sure.
they're gonna now make, and that's just indelible IP property that will get people to these parks in at insane numbers. I think.
Yeah, I'm so glad because I think it also finally shows Nintendo that like you guys have some of the most popular IP in the world and you guys can make a lot of money off of it. And
Like
this
we all
is-
want to see these.
Yeah, people want to
characters.
see it. Like Mario is one of the most well-known characters in the world.
I think he is the most recognizable character.
It's like it's probably like Mickey
Ever.
Mouse.
I think Mickey Mouse.
maybe
is number
like
2.
Superman.
Pikachu is
maybe like Superman, like the Superman symbol, Pikachu and Mario. Like those are like top 5, top 4, or just most recognizable characters. So it's not surprising that this movie made a lot of money. All the people complaining about the story, it's like it doesn't need a story.
It was perfect. Like
there's a reason why it has like a 97% audience
96
rating.
96 audience.
Like audience want to see a movie that looks like the video games, and that's what they made. They made a movie that looks and feels very similar to the games, and so
yeah, they understood the excitement.
Yeah.
It's a 96 audience with over 10,000 verified ratings.
That's over 10. It's over 9,000.
Yeah, definitely over 9.
And then,
the critic score is like what, 55 or something?
57.
Yeah. Whatever.
But who cares?
People like
who cares? At that point, who cares? This is one of these where you go and you have fun. Like
Go home and watch a better story.
Yeah. Go home and play a better story.
Like just like Zach did.
Play Super Mario Galaxy if you want a better story.
After watching, I think
Actually,
we all
no.
just wanted to play Mario.
Yeah.
And,
I wanted to replay Super Mario World. Like
Or Galaxy, right?
yeah. Oh, it's like the end credits. They use the Galaxy theme. Anthony and I
Oh
were
my
like,
god! I'm
"Whoa,
so happy.
that's cool."
Just the end credits alone
It's a great
makes this
medley.
movie like a
a 9.
like an 8, and then everything else is just like increments after that 8.
Which the Yoshi egg?
No, the music that they
At the very
played
end.
for the
music
credits.
at the very end.
So the end credits is a medley of all
Yeah,
the Mario
it's like a
themes, and
bunch
it's
of Mario
awesome.
themes.
Like it was the perfect like music you'd want for an end credits, because it's like you're celebrating. Wow, the movie is over.
Everything
and
over.
everything kind of putting together, and just a good celebration of Mario as a thing. That was awesome.
They
Very
played-
validating.
Yeah, they had Gusty Guardian. I was like, oh, these people, they know what's up.
Yep.
They know
Yeah.
what's up.
Brian Tyler knew the assignment. They just need to let him shine more and not put "Take on Me."
Pun intended.
They need
The
to
shines.
the shinies, the super to be the superstar of the movie. But
Shout outs again. I don't know if we mentioned Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach,
oh yeah, she was good.
but yeah,
really
she was good as well.
Damn, it's my fault. Yeah, we went
And
through the cast and just
Probably, I would say the only one that was like, it's not that he was bad, but it was kind of like a weird choice was maybe Cranky Kong.
definitely was Cranky
Kong, yeah. It was like,
Fred Armisen is Cranky Kong. I didn't.
yeah, Fred Armisen's
I
great.
didn't-
He's awesome. But
I didn't
like,
understand what they were going with Cranky Kong. Like, it's supposed to be like a curmudgeon-y,
like an old fart.
like,
and then
he should just be like a normal old fart. Like, he should be like a. You guys ever watch Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Mhm.
He needs to be like Eustace in that sense, where he's just kind of like just really grumpy, like just like I'm just shut up, like back in my day. Yeah, and he even calls Donkey Kong in the game like, well, I think he says whippersnappers. Yeah, he's
But
you
like,
gotta do
the
it
thing
my
is,
way.
it's like Donkey Kong is his son. It's not like a
Not grandson.
So it's like he's not really that old then, even though he has a white beater and all that. He's the king of this kingdom, and he sounds like he's like 40 years old. Like he doesn't sound like an old
Yeah,
man.
he's not as cranky as he could be. Like he needs to sound like almost like Harrison Ford cranky. Like when lately he's been playing these roles where he comes off a little more gruff and cranky, like muffin, stupid, smart kid, like
Star Wars.
yeah, bananas, stole bananas, Bowser. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, but obviously be more coherent. But we also missed. I kind of wish they had again. Like this, is me being the fanboy of Donkey Kong stuff. But yeah. Beyond that, I think the movie was awesome. Like I would like looking back on it, like the only knock being the licensed music, I give it a solid 8.5.
Oh.
Yeah, I give it a solid 8.5 because everything else, like it would have been a hard 9, but the licensed music takes it down for me. Zach, what do you think?
Well, but before I even give my score, I mean, it's
here we
still
go.
a good score.
Oh, here we go.
It's like almost as high as Xavier's.
That Top Gun 5.
Like I have a couple of gripes. Like one being the licensed music, but I mean we've talked about that a lot. Or we had a good like couple minutes where we discussed it.
12. No kidding. Yeah.
But also, like I do understand that this is a movie geared towards kids between the ages of like 8 and 12.
That's Illumination's specialty. Yeah.
So I feel like the movie, it was a short movie. It was like an hour and a half. and the story was a little rushed. I feel like they could have expanded on a few things or have more exposition in certain scenes where they just kind of like jump straight to like certain parts or into like certain plot points without there being like more build up to it or more character development for some characters. I thought the movie was really great. A lot of great moments, a lot of fun stuff. 8 out of 10 is gonna be my rating. A hard 8.
Yeah.
A hard 8.
A hard.
Hard 8.
It's the rush story that's kind of holding me back a little bit, but it's still a solid hard 8.
A metal 8. When you got the
Metal
metal
Mario
power.
8, yeah. The Metal Mario suit.
Nice.
Sank.
I'll
Danny?
go ahead and I'm more with X on this one. I'll give it a solid 8.5.
Anything special that gives you the 8.5 flavor?
Just a lot of fun times, great animation, and
He
I
likes
think
the
the
song.
story was it was perfect for what it was. Good runtime for me. I don't feel like Zach where you think it's too rush almost, but I don't know. I just had a fun time with it, and I actually want to see it again. Yeah. So.
What'd you think of the standout possible Oscar nomination song Peaches?
Oh, that's what I want to win.
Peaches.
I haven't. I downloaded the song. The album's on all streaming platforms.
Hell yeah.
Mario
Just put it on repeat.
Luigi. Oh my
So
god.
stupid. His torture scene, like Luigi's torture scene, was hilarious. You think all the people would just look at me with the same like letter on the top of their hat, huh? that was good. That was really good.
But yeah, plus makes you want to play Mario, so it did its job.
Oh my god! I remember all the Kamek. Anytime Kamek did his stuff, they used the sound effect from Super Mario World. It was just perfect.
Oh, God. Everything.
They just took it. They knew the assignment. Lastly, Anthony.
Oh man, so this movie, like, it was just like joy watching it the whole time. Yes, I know that the story was whatever, but like I've mentioned before, like I don't think there's probably like 1 or 2 Mario games where like I thought the story was cool and I enjoyed the game for its story, but the Mario games, like the gameplay is the king. Like the games have been lasting for how many years? Almost 30 something years.
The gameplay almost tells the story.
Yeah, the games are just fun to play, and because of the gameplay, that's
the original came out in 1985,
I think,
5 or 86, somewhere around that
yeah.
time.
So
So it's been almost
40 years. 40 years.
Yeah, 40 years.
yeah, so just between the animation, the music, the voice acting was great. It didn't detract at all because they all did a great job. Maybe Funky Kong, except for Funky Kong. Not Funky, I'm sorry, Cranky.
Yeah, except for
Yeah, I had a smile on my face the whole time watching this movie.
Yeah.
I felt like, this movie was made for kids and it was made for fans. So if you're an adult who has not played the games or doesn't know anything about Mario, you probably won't like this movie. But if you're anyone who knows something about Mario, you'll probably like this movie. Me, a bunch of my friends, Xavier, anybody our age, I'm sure we all love this movie.
Absolutely.
And then even the generation under us, which is Danny and Zach, I'm sure they all love the movie. Like it's these games are multi-generational, and it's like it's made for all these people who have just been fans of these games for all these years. And so it's just like for me it was like a weird, not out of body experience, but it was like
it's almost
I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was like this thing that like I've been playing for years. It's just like on the screen, kind of like how I've been feeling for 20 years watching the Marvel movies. Like ever since like the first Spider-Man came out or the first X-Men, like when those movies came out, it blew my mind because I was like, I used to watch these cartoons when I was a kid, and like now they're popular movies that people actually like. I thought I was like a nerdy little kid that nobody liked these things, and now everybody likes these things. So now I'm hoping
being
that
nerdy and geeky is cool.
Yeah, now I'm hoping that this movie, it's probably gonna. People are saying it's safe. Yeah, but it's like the best safe you can be because they, like we've been saying, they did their homework. They did so many Easter eggs and so many things that would make fans happy and make kids happy, and that's what this was for. And like they're gonna make a safe 1.5 billion probably on this movie,
Dude,
and
1.5,
so
yeah.
they could easily make
really
10 more
optimistic.
safe movies if they want, but they're probably actually gonna make them better. Like this is to me the easiest, best video game movie that's ever been made, because it's so close to the source material. It's like who knew that you produced a movie with the guy who created the game, and like sit down and make a decent story and do all this fan service on it. That like, oh man, you'll make a lot of money on this thing. The same thing just happened with Last of Us. How good is that show? Because the creator of the
Neil
game
Druckmann was with
was
all of
actually
them.
like part of the show. So it's
He was
like
an executive
I'm hoping this is
producer.
a new trend with future video game adaptations. That's like maybe use the people that actually made the games for your shows or movies, because so far it's been working, and I'm really hoping to see the second or whatever, however many movies that they're gonna do from this. They could easily start a Nintendo universe, maybe a Zelda movie, maybe I'm sure they're gonna do a Donkey Kong movie
I
since
think
he's
I read
already in there.
somewhere. Yeah, I read somewhere that I don't know if
It's a
it was
spin-off,
just like
yeah, they-
talked about, but they want to do a Donkey Kong spin-off with
Good.
Rogan returning, of course.
Yeah, that would be great. So,
And then a potential. I think Charlie Day said he wanted to do
Like
a
Luigi's
Luigi
Mansion.
Mansion, yeah,
Good.
They could do
Also
any of these
do
things.
it.
Like
They-
you have so many different options that you
I know.
They could do a Star Fox movie.
My
too.
only concern is either Illumination has to get bigger or Nintendo has to branch out and use other companies, because
Assets.
this
Yeah.
movie took 6 years for them to make. The next one shouldn't take as many
Was
years.
it really 6
Yes.
years? Oh,
From
man.
concept and announcing to actually coming out.
Hopefully, the next ones will take 6 years. But if they want to start building this universe, kind of like Marvel does, then maybe try it within the next 2 to 3 years. Maybe get like 2 Nintendo movies out in the next like 3 years, and they're gonna start making lots of money if they have this quality, the animation, the music. And you can make a safe to great story and still probably get lots of money from it. I think it will be great. But yeah, I couldn't stop smiling watching this movie. I liked it better than the Sonic movie. Sonic 2 came really close because Sonic 2
Sonic 2 is
had a lot of fan service, and Sonic 2
but
was
good
great.
and in service of the story.
But
yeah.
the
But this
difference
was-
is Sonic 2 has the problem where a lot of other IPs do kind of like Transformers, where they have to include humans into the stories, and then you're like,
I don't care.
half of this movie or the majority of this movie is about the humans and not about the characters that you're going to see. This is straight up a Mario movie, and it's about Mario and the Mario
Luigi.
characters.
Yeah.
And so it's like, this is what people want. Just like when this new Transformers movie comes out, I'm sure a lot of it will be cool because it's about like
The robots.
the beasts and the robots, but they're still the human characters. But whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna give this movie like a 9. It was just like, I watched it twice. It was just as cool the second time. There were more kids the second time I watched it. Kids were loving it.
Nice.
Before they even went to the Rainbow Road, when they jumped off the track, a little kid goes, "They're going to the Rainbow Road!" And then they land on the Rainbow Road. So like this kid like called
The
it.
kid knew
He
it.
called it out. He knew exactly
That
what was
kid
happening. It was hilarious.
Kid knows what's up.
What a legend.
For real. But
Legend.
yeah, it's just like, yeah, they could easily make something like this again, but I'm pretty sure they're going to hear some of the criticism, and they'll probably make a somewhat decent or good story next time, and I'm all for it. 'Cause
And
Yeah,
less
just learning-
licensed music.
Yeah, learning,
yeah, oh,
yeah.
please. The thing is,
Look-
I think you guys mentioned that's a thing that
That's
Illumination does, that they have a lot of licensed music in their movies.
Yeah, if you watch like
But-
Despicable Me and Minions, I'm sure you're hearing a lot of.
Yeah.
But
But they
licensed music
can
also.
take a page out of the How to Train Your Dragon book and do none of that. Please,
Yeah,
no. But
the music was
Can-
so good.
I also thought about this closing remarks on how awesome the movie is. Even the times where like Mario was getting just like mollywopped everywhere and like almost falling over, getting knocked out, getting hit, and just like falling over. Like he'd have his like Mamma Mia moments.
Mhm.
Like that was like it
Slow
was.
motion twice.
I think what was really cool about that is that it took me back to like points in the game where like you would go through a level and then you go through something hard and you get hit, you lose a life, and you go lose a life again. So like then
They keep on the lava and he jumps up and he's screaming "Mamma Mia!"
yeah, like the whole cool thing about that is that he is like it's a tie-in to the game of just like you're determined like, oh, you're just gonna keep going until you get through the level or you get through the obstacle. And they found a way to incorporate that theme into the overall theme of the movie. So again, yeah, big shout outs to Illumination and the entire crew for that. I think that was very clever. That at least hit me personally. Last thing I thought of, I was like, damn, it's really cool. They did that. So if you listen to us for this good chunk of time, going all in the warp tube of Mario, thank you, because as you all heard, we really love this movie. If somehow you heard this and just a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense to you and you haven't seen the movie yet, what are you doing? Please finish this episode and watch the movie.
Go watch it. If you have kids, take your kids. You might like it. If you don't think you'll like it, you might like it because your kids will like it. So kids, grandkids, or if you're in your 30s, 40s,
people are bound to have a good time. My sister's 41; she loved it.
Yeah, you'll probably enjoy it because you probably played one of these games at some point in your life. So,
dude, even my sister was like, "Dude, that's the thing from Mario 3." Like,
the thing is, the character's so recognizable. Like, even your parents probably know who Mario is. Like,
dude, I went with my parents for my brother's birthday on the weekend, and they enjoyed it. They liked it a lot. Because they've been watching us play these games for 30 years.
That's too good. And they finally like, oh, wow. Then they see something big. Like, that's why they played this.
They definitely know a lot of the music from it. So, like, just the imagery. It's like, yeah, this is just like the things that I see my kids play.
I mean, if Nintendo's great at one thing aside from making iconic video games, it's the music. Any Nintendo game you play,
100%. Any Nintendo game. It doesn't have to just be a Mario game.
It could be Mario. It could be Donkey Kong, Pokemon,
it could be Legend of Zelda.
It could be anything.
Earthbound. In the immortal,
Koji Kondo, man.
In the immortal words of Meek Mill, I used to pray for times like this. Like, this is wonderful. And so, again, go out and watch the movie again. We're not shills for Universal or anything, but it's just the movie's that awesome.
Don't listen to the haters. Just enjoy it. It's a fun time.
Go in there and enjoy it. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Go ahead and follow us on Popcorn Watchlist on those media platforms because you'll see more polls going through. You can be part of the conversation, part of the excitement, part of even the debate sometimes. Go ahead, give us a like, subscribe. We even have these clips shown up on YouTube, so check it out there as well. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Until next time, let's go.
See ya.
Later.
Wahoo!